Hey, I'm John, the indoor garden guy from AeroGarden. It's been 5 weeks since we started our Gourmet Herb seed kit in the AeroGarden, and we're just going to check in and see what we need to do this week. Now you can see that everything just really took off this last week and started to grow really fast. And that's what your plants are going to do from this point on. They're just going to keep growing and growing. You can trim some herbs back on Friday. By Monday, you won't even know they're gone. They'll have grown back and replaced themselves. You'll get that continual harvest for month after month for 3, 4, 5 months now from here. So the first thing we'll do in our checkup is check the water. So we'll just top it up. And now we're into the part I like the best, which is pruning and harvesting for maximum long-term yields. There's just a few simple tips that we're going to use to make sure your garden keeps looking great and to make sure that it produces as much as it can for the longest time possible. We'll get into those steps right now. Never raise your lights, always lower your plants. Now I know that sounds funny, but what it means is this. Whenever we can, we're going to prune down the height of our plant instead of raising the light hood up. And what that's going to do is let more light get down through the canopy and closer into those low-growing plants, so they're going to grow bushier and better than ever before. So remember, never raise your light hood, lower your plants when possible. The two big factors we're going to consider when we start pruning are what looks great and what looks like it's going to taste great in tonight's meal. And the second thing is which plants are blocking light to other plants and which plants aren't getting enough light. We're really going to do some light management in here. Light is just an absolute key to growth, and if these low growers aren't getting enough light, they're not going to grow well. So we've got to trim the fast growers back, which will make them harvest more, give us bigger harvests, and that's going to get more light into these plants that are a little slower than the other ones. You'll see what I mean. Let's start back with this huge lemon basil plant, which is really just taken off and is taking over the garden. You can see it's blocking light to the mint. It's blocking light to our oregano. It's blocking light to our globe basil. We've got to get this thing under control. Oh, and bonus, we get a ton of lemon basil, which is wonderful stuff. So we're just going to go in here, and as I showed you last week, we're going to trim at these nodes where just above the leaf joint, and that's going to turn that into 2 stems. And we'll do that over and over again, and soon we'll just have a huge bush of lemon basil here, which is great in tea and everywhere else. So, and sometimes it helps to move the pod too. So we're going to go ahead and just turn this pod so that those leaves aren't blocking that globe basil down there. Check out the harvest we got too. Nice big harvest of lemon basil. Again, the globe basil, don't need to do much to. You're just going to harvest when you want to eat that, and it's great tasting leaves and easy to harvest, and it continues looking great no matter what you do to it pretty much. This is our oregano, which has gone absolutely wild, and while it's not really shading other plants, it's just ready for a harvest, and it's going to do better if we trim it back again right above that leaf joint. Here's our dill back here, still coming along. It is definitely the slowest growing in this kit. In your kit, the slowest growing one might be lemon basil or something. It varies. This is our mint, and while it's not shading anything out, I'm going to go ahead and prune a little, which we can use as some iced tea or in some other recipes. Finally, up front, we've got our thyme, which again is looking really good. We've got some nice big sprigs here that we can trim off. Sweet! So that's it for our week 5 check-in. The plants grew wonderfully, we added a little water, and we've also harvested a ton of herbs. We've got oregano, thyme, lemon basil. It's just wonderful and fresh and going to taste great in our meals too. The plants, believe it or not, are going to continue to grow from here even faster, and everything that we cut off will be replaced and then some next week when we check in week 6. In the meantime, if you have any questions, send me an email at asktheexpert@aerogrow.com. Thanks. Happy gardening.